This is just a continuation of the Epstein files that were dropped over the weekend. These are millions upon millions of files that were released. Everything from emails, which we're going to go through nothing but email threads today, to pictures, to videos. And, you know, the theme to what I've covered so far has been pretty shocking. We went through a very high ranked Hollywood publicist who offered Jeffrey a baby, a couple babies from Africa. We have Eva Dubin, we covered yesterday, who was pretty flippant about her daughter being around Jeffrey Epstein, even offering to bring him around her and 5 other of her friends, while they were hanging out. Anyway, wild stuff. If you guys haven't checked out those videos, go check out those videos. Today, we're going to go through some emails that were in the files. Once again, the theme is shocking. And these emails have the theme of homicide. Now, I do want to preface that because there were numerous tips that were submitted to the FBI via a tip line, I do want to preface that some of this could be, just fabricated. Some of this could be fabricated for shock value. There were some pretty wild claims that were submitted to the FBI. I think I covered it in one of the initial videos about the Epstein files. But nonetheless, I am being very fair. I am going to present these emails to you. You guys can develop your own consensus on the matter. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's start with this one right here. So, well, that's not it. That's not it at all. This is it right here. So this is one of the first ones here. Okay. So as you can see, pretty shocking. I give you permission to K him. He is apparently with redacted. He lied to you and lied to me, sent from iPhone. So this is to Jeffrey from a particular person. Okay. So this is just shocking. Like, I give you permission. It's just very flippant. I give you permission to K off a person. Now, I do want to present this particular email, which seems to be expanded in some context. And it says, the full email says, I give you permission to K him. He is apparently with Olga, which is the redacted name. He lied to you and he lied to me, sent from iPhone. And I believe this is a reply. No one will lie to you and get away with it from me. No one, whoops, is correct. So I don't know who the sender is. Somebody, pointed out that there was a partial redaction from the from line. And people did make insinuations to a particular person. Now, I am not going to make those insinuations because I don't want to take wild guesses here. But what I will say is the theme of the email is, again, just very shocking, that it is so flippant that they are just talking about offing a particular person, whoever this is, because this person lied to, I'm assuming to Jeffrey's, I don't know, someone that Jeffrey Epstein answers up to, it seems like. That's what I get from it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Here is another email, and I'm going to expand this so you can see it, because I think it's much easier for you guys to read. But this email is let me just double check which one I'm looking at here. There's so many emails. I gotta expand this one so that way I can read it myself. All right. So this email, is actually talking about, so this actually made news today. It's talking about 2 victims that were possibly buried near Zorro Ranch. So I'm going to go through the email, and it says, Edward Aragon. Apparently, this was submitted to the FBI. So, Edward, this is sensitive, so it will be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all as a former staff at the Zorro. Now, the Zorro that they're talking about is Zorro Ranch, and so just an FYI. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein's home as my insurance in case of future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions, it says. What is damning about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know somewhere in the hills outside of Zorro Ranch, two foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madame G? Madame G is apparently Ghislaine Maxwell. Both died by strangulation during rough fetish SS. You know what? So, and then it gives links to particular footage as they titled here. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's several really, really extreme titles of footage of that type of film. It says, please arrange for 1 Bitcoin by 6 p.m. EDT today, Thursday, 11/22/2019, to the BTC wallet, address blank, redacted. The USB will be sent anonymously to your attention by overnight courier. Upon receipt of the funds, you have my assurance this is exclusive, never shared before, no attorneys, no samples, no questions, please confirm ASAP. So I read this and it does seem shocking. I mean, it does seem shocking. I will say that there is a possibility that this might have been a grifter. In my personal opinion, I don't know. Because why would you be submitting this to the FBI and not wanting to get justice for these victims and you're trying to get money? You know what I mean? And then to cap it with no questions, no attorneys, no samples. I just think that that's a little suspicious. That's just my personal opinion. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments below. That's my opinion. I think that this is a grifter. And this is what I mean. This is what I meant in my initial video. Like, as you guys can see, I'm a pretty balanced person here. Like, I'm good with calling out what is really weird and really extreme. And then when it doesn't pass the sniff test, I'm just gonna let you know. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, okay? So that's just my personal opinion, but you guys can let me know. You can try to persuade me otherwise. I just don't think that this is I don't think that this is a genuine tip. And that's just what I think about it, okay? Now, this next one right here is let me see right here. So, okay, this is pretty extreme. All right, so let's go to the next little snippet email right here, and this one is shocking, okay? Because let me just kind of level set here and remind you guys that the DOJ released the Epstein files, which consists of a hodgepodge of legitimate tips that were submitted to the FBI, flippant, not supported, not evidential tips submitted to the FBI. These are the wild theories and things like that. And then actual communication and other pieces of evidence, actual communication between Jeffrey Epstein and all of his contacts, whether they're associates, friends, whoever, So I just want to remind you guys that this is a hodgepodge of media coming out of the Epstein files. With that being said, this one to me was crazy. I'm over here holding my head as I'm reading this because I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay. So this is from Epstein to a redacted person, which in my personal opinion, I don't think should be redacted. I think we should know who this person is. Jeffrey Epstein says, where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. What do you mean? What kind of torture video are you talking about? I mean, no torture video is okay, but what are you talking about? The person replied back, I'm in China. I will be in the US second week of May. Okay, like what? So this is wild because it further fuels all of the, the wild fetishes and gross things that they were into. And this is I can't even get my words out, but this is crazy because like what kind of torture videos is he talking about? And like I said, no torture videos are acceptable, absolutely none. But was this like snuff videos? Were these of animals? Were these of adults, of children? Like, what are you talking about? I really think that we are owed that answer because this is crazy. What do you, I mean, I can't even. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein obviously was into the kids. You know, he was into young teens. And you know, there's more things that I'm going to get into with you guys that I'm finding online, and I really concern over this video, this whatever this torture video was. That is insane. All right. But not much context is added or, you know, left with that. It's just a cliffhanger. Okay, and then this is gonna be another one, more towards Epstein's younger brother, Mark Epstein, in which Mark, is forwarding this email over to his attorney, it seems. It says, and it seems like this is a threat. Like, this email is a threat to Mark, and it makes me also wonder, what were Mark and Jeffrey all into? Because this made the Epstein file dump. So how does this relative to Jeffrey Epstein? It says, "Hey, Puggy, you have 2 choices, or tell the court you partnered with your brother, okay, or we will kill your family like your brother." All right. So this is, I believe this is after Epstein was offed. And then he says, "Hey, Puggy, my boss is a very kind person. He loved your brother. Your brother's mistake." Oh, so this is the person again. "Hey, Puggy." Oh, sorry, level set, brain fart. So Mark Epstein was known as Puggy. You guys see it right there? Mark Lawrence Epstein, nicknamed Puggy, is an American property developer and the brother of financier convicted SO Jeffrey Epstein. All right, so you guys see it there, Puggy. All right, so who you guys see is being referenced as Puggy is indeed Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's little brother. All right, so he's emailing Mark Epstein again, aka Puggy. He's saying, "My boss is a very kind person. He loved your brother. Your brother's mistakes was that he wanted to tell the court everything. The boss wants to meet you. He just wants to see if you know him. What's the boss's name? If you don't answer, the boss will be very upset. You don't know my boss. It's true." And then again, this person, whoever this is. Oh, and I want you guys to look at I'm sorry, I'm not going to jump around. The person emails again. It says, "You don't know your boss's name, I'm sure. If you know him, tell us. He wants to meet you. Just because you don't answer doesn't mean you don't know who your brother's killer is. True. You know that if you tell the police something, we will kill your children." Okay, so it gets really, really dark. He says, "Hey, B, don't you want to answer? If you don't answer, I'll suffocate you like your brother." Okay. Um, and then to this last email, which is really, really chilling, it says, "You don't know us, I'm sure. You have beautiful children. B, F your children. Which one should I K first? You know, no one knows who we are. I want to K them in such a way that no one can tell how they died. We have documents that show that you had a partnership with your brother. I want to do something to see the death of your loved ones. We will K one of your children in 72 hours. Stupid." Now, I do want you guys to see the email address that this person uh used to email Mark Epstein, and that's puggykiller@fastmail.com. Okay. Um, boy, I mean, that just really makes me wonder, like, what were the Epstein brothers doing? Who were they dealing with? Like, what is this? Or was this just another grifter that was using shock value, edge lord type of language to try to intimidate Mark Epstein? I don't know. But this is dark. I mean, I'm telling you, these emails are pretty dark. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that. Let me know what your thoughts are about any of the emails that I shared with you. Let me know what your opinions are or what your theories are. Um, I don't know. I think it's a hodgepodge. It's a mix of like legitimately dark emails, legitimately. And then there are some that I think are just kind of, you know, like that one was, I don't know. It just seemed a little grifty. It's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.